2, 1. Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Yay!
Good evening, welcome, bonjour. It's a new number of All the Talk today. Welcome. This is All the Talk, the new number today. We have a special guest. Before I'm getting in, I just want to let you know, guys, what is All the Talk about. All the Talk is a show where we are sharing our passion, trying through different sports, through different guests from around the world. Today we have in introduction to a first sport I'm going to bring in the show. I have the honor to receive a professional wingsuit pilot. His name is Carlos Pedro Briceño. Voilà.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Carlos. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be with you talking this afternoon.
I'm very happy to have you. I'm going to jump into that. We're going to jump into that show straight on your sport and your amazing sport that you are doing. It's a adrenaline pro sport for me. So we're going to talk about that. And I would like to know, at first, to become a professional base jumper or skydiver or wingsuit pilot, how does that start? Because you are from Venezuela, you're 46 years old. And from what I know, you start when you were around 20 or in 2000. How did you start? That? Let's go.
Well, it's a story that has some funny parts because I always wanted to fly because, like cartoons and all the stuff that you were watching when you were kids, like Superman and things like that. So flying was like, I want to fly. So until one day I was like, already like a little bit older, looking, at TV programs and shit, and I found the Angels Fall base jump. Like somebody was jumping from Angel Falls, which is the highest waterfall in the world, and it's in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3,000 feet, almost 1,000 meters of vertical waterfall. So it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And that was amazing for me. So that in my mind was like, oh, that looked super sick to jump from a cliff next to a waterfall, and I want to do that. So, but that was like that thought when I was looking at that video. And then when I was like 18 and I wanted like, man, I need to skydive. So I asked my mom. My mom said like, no way.
Of course.
If you want to skydive, you're gonna do it when you pay for the whole thing. I'm not gonna pay for anything for skydiving. So I was like, okay, cool. And now I study and I was surfing all my life. Like that was the passion, and I still like love surfing. Surfing for me is like also like one of the best sports that you can do, and more difficult, but you are interacting with nature like super close, and it's amazing. And the adrenaline that surfing gives you when you surf like big waves and shit, wow, it's crazy. So I study business management because like I was like, what I'm gonna study? Well, I'm gonna study business management, and
you had to pick something.
Something. Yeah, I was like, in Venezuela, it's always about after high school you have to get into the university and study something. So it was like there's no choice to say like, no, I want to be a professional, something sportman or something. You have to already be like super good before high school. So your father probably can say like, no, yeah, this guy can dedicate himself and it's gonna be a champion. But in that moment, like you're surfing, you're doing it for fun, and that moment of choosing something shows up, and I was like, wow, business management, and then I deal with something, but it's good for everything. So I studied that, and after I graduated from that, I went back to Venezuela. I finished studying that in Australia. So when I went back to Venezuela, I I got a job like right away in an oil company, and then they were paying me so good. I was like, okay, now it's time to skydive. So I immediately went with some friends to do the course, and we did the course, and then we were like hooked, and we were like 5, 7 friends that we were always together, and we were like all hooked and competing between each other, like, how many jumps did you do today? This more. So we were always like super hooked. So I was living, man, like 5 hours, 5.5 hours away from the drop zone, and I was going every week for 3 years and a half. Like, and I was also traveling to the United States to train. So the I was all in skydiving, but
So
I was working.
it took more and more place in your life, like little by little, from 2000
Yeah,
to 2004,
yeah,
more and more.
yeah. Like it was stronger, and all, and only I was thinking about skydiving. Like I was working in an oil company, just waiting for the Friday to come. Like, and looking at my videos and my videos of friends. Yeah, skydiving, skydiving. So I skydived since 1999 until I got a break of 3 years, no, but because not really a break, totally break, but in Venezuela there was no drop zone anymore during 3 years, so it was hard to keep skydiving in
Yeah.
Venezuela because there was no drop zone, and I was like in that moment dating one of my girlfriend. She was a good climber, so I started to climb, and I started to go back to surfing a little bit, and so taking my time in between. And after those 3 years, a friend shows up with a big plane, and an investor, and they reopened the drop zone, and it was like boom, super nice because the plane was even bigger. We went all the way up to the normal altitude that you jump from in most of the drop zones in the world, which is 13,500 feet.
Wow.
And there we were happy, like we were super happy. So the fever started again, and skydiving only again.
It's like it seems
then,
like it seems like it's like a drug. It's like the more you have, the more you have, the more you do, the more you have, the more you want, the more you jump, the more you want to jump again.
totally, you are just putting your feet on the ground. You want to be in the plane going up again. Like you don't want to spend time on the ground. Like you want to repeat it, and man, and the sensation, you last only 50 seconds, 40 seconds. With the wingsuit, it's longer. It's like 2.5 minutes flying.
You can fly way
But
more.
you spend the whole day to make that happen. Like you drive like so many hours to the drop zone. You stay on the ground till you are on the load, and then you go up 20 minutes in the plane, and then you have free fall of 30 or 40 or 50 seconds of 2 minutes, and then you ride your canopy in 2 minutes more, and that was it.
That's
All
it.
that effort that you put just to put that jump, but you can go home smiling, like.
So for the viewers who are watching us and don't know a difference between skydive and base jump and the material you are using, let me know if I'm correct, if I did my research. So the skydiving is more safe, where you have like I would say 2 parachute, one safer one and another one with going like
Reserve.
yeah, that's it. And the base jumping, there is one small parachute, and that's a huge difference. And from what I read, is base jumper are more people, I would say, for the skydiving, you jump usually from a plane, or you can jump from other places, but the base jump can jump from almost everywhere, and you can hike in the mountain and find a spot and jump. You can jump from the plane and everything. So how did you transit, or is that a logic transition for everyone to go to skydive to base jump, or it was normally for you, it was always a goal to straight to go to base jump?
No, like I wanted to go base jump, but I didn't know much like about base jumping. I didn't have much people that was base jumping, but then until I met like these guys that were already like base jumping, and they were living now in Venezuela. I started like, oh fuck, I want to do that. Like, so I did my first base jump from a bridge, and let me put this clarification. So you said like skydiving is from planes, and you have, as you said, 2 parachutes, one reserve, one principal, and it's super safe. Like I consider like skydiving safer than going right now in a car to 10 minutes on the highway.
Okay.
Like it could be worse that.
Mm-hmm.
But base jumping it comes from the acronym of BASE, and it means building, antenna, span, and earth.
Yeah.
So those 4 objects is what they call base jump. But of course, base jumping is jumping from a fixed object, something that is fixed, that doesn't move.
Okay.
And you have only one parachute, and that parachute is packed the same way that your reserve on the skydiving equipment is packed. So it's in a way that is always gonna deploy like mostly good.
When you skydive, you could basically skydive in a shirt and a t-shirt or a short, whatever. And when you do a base jump, you are in a wingsuit.
No, that's another like base jumping, as I said, is jumping slick with t-shirt and short from any fixed object.
Okay.
But wingsuit, you can do it from the plane and from the mountains, or from a fixed object. But when you do it from the plane, it's only skydiving, wingsuit skydiving. And when you do it from a fixed object, it's wingsuit base jumping. So it's a combination of the technique of wingsuiting with the concept of base jumping, which is from a fixed object. So you are with the rig, like with the parachute of base jumping, but with the wingsuit that you can use in both cases, right? Skydiving or base jumping.
Do you recall exactly the day where you did your first wingsuit base jump ever?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's share that.
Yeah, I started with a little wingsuit jumping from Brento in that's a place in Italy, and it's one of the most popular places where people go there to learn how to base jump or to fly wingsuit for the first time, because it's a wall that is about 3,000 feet, like 1,000 meters, 1,100 or something like that, and it's like kind of like overhang. So when you jump, you are like already away from the wall.
Okay.
So if you have any issue on the exit, you're not gonna hit the wall. So that's what is, and it's super huge. So that's one of the places that most people, when they are starting base jumping, and even when you are already a base jumper, you just go there because you can do multiple jumps
Jump,
during the
yeah.
day, and then you can practice whatever you want to practice. I want to practice going fast. I want to practice going gliding, or I want to practice my exits, or acro or whatever. So you are
Exactly.
like in a good place, you know that. So that was my first base jump in that place, and I keep going to that place every year, basically.
You never, when you went for that jump and you found yourself right before the jump, told yourself, "What the heck am I doing here? What the heck?"
No, I still do that. I still do that in every job.
Every
I still
jump.
do. I still do that. I still say to myself, why I didn't choose to play golf or something like that. You know, I have to pass through all this stress, but yeah, the reward is amazing, and the stress is obviously fear that we all have fear, man. Like whoever who said that is not scared when they're stepping, off. Well, while they are on the edge, because once you decide to step off and jump, then as soon as you push, your fear is gone, and then it's like yourself in the present, 100%. Like in that moment, there's no other thought that I'm flying.
So
And
when you say in the present, you say when you are jumping and driving, because basically you're driving, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
you gotta take every
Your mind is there. Your mind is not dispersed or anything. It's like there. So it's like total one of the moments of your life, or whatever, that you really are in the present. You are always in the present of situations that requires you to be 100% there.
focus.
So that's one of the moments that I consider that I'm totally 100% in the present.
So when I was watching
But
your
when I'm in the edge, I'm really scared. But I know that fear and turning into positive things. Like I'm taking care of. Oh, everything is cool. The wind is good, so you are taking extra care because you are scared. And if you will be scared, you are like, whatever, I'm gonna jump, and boom, you had an accident because you didn't pay attention of the wind, because you were not really paying attention. So
yeah.
be scared and have fear is super positive. The thing is that you cannot let the fear control you and turn into panic, because panic is when you are like not aware of what's going on, and you are like looking, I would say, tunnel vision. So you are not aware of many many things that you could do to avoid whatever you're doing or something. Like, and that's the difference between being really really scared and not control the fear, and be scared but turning into positive.
But I mean, if you are not in the present when you are doing it, you cannot do exactly what you want to do. I mean, you have to, because if you don't put your conscience, I think, right there on the moment, this is where the mistake can happen. You can you can
Yeah,
disappear or go.
totally, yeah.
Have
You
you?
you will have to get a spatula to get you off the ground. Yeah.
So I want to talk more about this, and what is the feeling you like the most? Because I watch. So for all the people watching us, go on Carlos Pedro's base Instagram account. You're going to see some amazing image, amazing photo, amazing stuff to share. Those image will give you the desire to jump yourself. So I'm probably to try it, or let that thought grow in your mind. But watching your last post, especially the one with the view out where you can see you wait before you jump. I could feel like almost. I don't know if it's me who was stressed watching it, but I could feel not the fear, but the moment of focus, and the focus right behind it. And when you finally let yourself go, you disappear for 1, 2, 3 seconds, and you could see the guy take the direction.
Yeah.
Talk to
Yeah.
us. Talk to us about that feeling of dropping, because you are free falling, right? You are free falling from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the best feeling. Like when, like, that's my favorite feeling, when you just decide to do the jump and take off. Those first 3 seconds are silent. You are like, and then you start the wind like, then you start to feel the wingsuit inflate, getting pressurized, because the wingsuit, for whoever don't know, the wingsuit is like a wind that is filled with air. So the wingsuit have some inlets on, like, kind of like the chest, on some inlet that inflate all the arm wings, and then there are two inlets on the leg wing in between the knees, and that get the leg wing inflated. So you become like a wing, and then once that wing is pressurized and armed, then you start to glide, then you start to fly, and then it's like, then you are like Superman.
What?
So you can follow a line and pass through trees, and you even can go up a little bit, because now the wingsuit have so much power, and the technology has developed these wingsuits like to be really rigid. So when they're pressurized, you can like be so fast that you start to gain altitude up to like 100 meters, like 300 feet, and then you
Go
start
down.
to drop, obviously. Yeah.
How fast can you go? What's the speed you can reach?
Well, in a base jump, depends on the steepness of the line. If you're doing a line close to the ground, or if you just decide to go for a speed run, you can reach 300 kilometers per hour
Wow.
easily.
300?
Yeah.
So, but when you are on your wingsuit and flying, so, and how high can you go when you are flying on the
I,
wingsuit? Like when you are gliding,
well,
and
yeah.
let's say the ground is here, and how high are you? Like, what is the distance
Well,
that you can fly?
well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you want to do like a proximity line, which is like going close to the ground, you really are who decide how close you can go. Like, the closer you can go, the less chance you got for any error or something like sticking out, or if the line starts to get flatter and then you start to lose the speed. So I always like to be like in a range that I have like a little bit of safe thing, and obviously it's like if you are I don't know, like snowboarding, and you can, and sometimes you take those risks in between the pine trees full speed, because you see the line through it, and then you are like, okay, I know that with this speed I can go like this fast and pass through this little gap in between the two trees. So it's like the feeling also like driving a fast motorbike and go in a highway passing cars.
Wow.
Like that at that speed in between these two cars you can go. Woo. So it's that feeling. So you can go super close, or take it safe and fly over.
Okay. Wow. 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 So I don't want to go in the negative aspect. I'm going to stay first in the positive, and all those stuff, because
Yeah.
I already want to try. I did try the parachute with the air in the center, where you just fly. And to me, it's nothing. Nothing to compare with a free fall. But to give you a little feel of it, but it's not the same. Like, now you are a professional base diver, and I want to know what you are doing on the side to be able to sustain and do what you are doing. Because from what I know from you, because we talked a little bit off before the show, and I know that you are living in Arizona now. You are living in the one of the biggest center in the state for base jumping, to keep feeding yourself with this. Well, of skydiving, sorry. You still feed yourself with this, and you still want to go for it, and you still are grinding. So grind every day for you to get better and better. But what do you do on the side to be able to sustain, to be able to do it?
Well, basically, I was living 100% from skydiving base jumping until last year May.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Just like after the first hit of the pandemic thing hit, like in March, a few months after, I got this job. But before that, like the job that I'm gonna tell you about it. But before that, I was 100% working as a skydiving coach, base jumping coach, organizing events around the world. Like they were hiring me, and still in job zones around the world. But with the pandemic, everything was all my projects. One of my main sponsors, like they dropped all the team. Like they are still like we are on hold on that, and the last year would have been like so epic because I had a good sponsor last year for a project. So my client was going. It was like going to Europe and hire some helicopters and do some lines in the Alps, like in three different countries and things like that. So everything got shut down. But before that, I was living as a skydiver and a base jumper professionally, being 100% living from that. And then after the pandemic, I got the opportunity, like an opportunity just showed up about training the military for like a company that is a civil company training military groups, but the company is the owners are like the main manufacturers of skydiving.
Okay.
And the professionals that work there are a mix of military and civil skydivers, and basically most of like the worldwide skydiving parachutes and things are built in this company. So it's like a really important company, and they offered me a job as an instructor training the military groups. So I took it, and that's what I'm been doing in the last 6 months. And that's why I moved to Arizona. I was living in DeLand. But yeah, I'm super happy right now. Like, it's very interesting. I never worked with, like training the military, knowing how, like all the procedures. And after being 21 years in the sport, I'm still like learning so much, like I'm learning something completely new. I'm really, like passionate, like to go to work and see, let's train and let's do this. And that's allowed me now to instead of like go on the weekends to the drop zone and work with, because you promote yourself more and you try to get coaching and things. Now I just go to train myself and have fun.
You have fun with it.
I'm pretty much like like having a stable life right now. Like that, I know that I got my job and I don't have to like be too worried about the pandemic anymore, because I'm covered in that side.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
good.
like
That's good.
very,
This is good. Now you can still
very,
dive. You can still live your
refreshing.
passion.
Yeah, exactly. And then I moved to Arizona, which, like, if you guys looking on my Instagram, the last base jumping videos that I have from 6 months ago is in a place like is my backyard. It's like 1 hour and 10 minutes away from my house. and 50 minutes away from my work, and I can go after work, go there, drive in 50 minutes, hike 1 hour and
And you
20
jump.
minutes, and then I jump. And then I come home and I make dinner and I go to sleep.
Very simple way to see it. Let's stay in the military business, and I would consider that a weapon. Like if I was a country, and I'm not in that business at all, but making human being fly, I mean, that's could be a huge weapon for military, you know. And I was wondering if
Yeah.
you are involved in this training, or you are just giving them tips to go, or the military, the US military is trying to develop that aspect of the wingsuit and the base jumping.
Oh, we teach skydiving. They show up without knowing nothing, and we teach.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
we make them from 0 to hero in 4 weeks.
Oh, good, good, good. And there is no such program where they have to learn with the wingsuit yet? Not yet?
Not yet, but I think that will be. It's already probably on the way. I think because the wings are getting better and better, so it's like probably a good strategic weapon to have.
Wow, wow. Base jumping has been created in the 80s, like beginning of the 80s. That's a brand young sport. The evolution of it is getting better and better. You could see, and you could talk more about the material, the evolution of the material, but I want to talk about the danger of it. And from what I read, it was one of the most dangerous, it is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. There is like 3 million, I'm going to give you an example, 3.5 million skydive jump, at least in the US every year. People jump a lot, a lot, a lot. Most of the accidents happening are not from skydive. They are, I think, more from base diving.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like skydiving, honestly, is super safe. Like if you follow the guidelines and you don't screw it, you you have no injuries ever. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes like you do bad decisions and you get in trouble. But base jumping, as we said before, it has one parachute, one opportunity, and also with the wingsuit and other stuff that had the evolution of the wingsuit. We basically, I have been looking from really kind of like not the really beginning, but close to the really beginning to right now, and the technology has made everything safer, and also it's making us to have more access to things. So that's also part of like accidents that happen because it started to get like new exits from places that you didn't even think before to fly with a wingsuit and things like that. So everything contribute, and all the awesome videos of proximity flying and that has like uh, uh, take the attention of all the young guys that want to do that, and that's what they want. And you can see sometimes there's new guys that, what do you want to do? Why are you skydiving? Because I want to fly with my wingsuit over the month. So they just do the skydiving course just to get to the point. So it's base jumping could, you only have one opportunity, or also you are like also close to the ground all the time. So there's not much margin for error. So that's mainly because why base jumping has more fatalities than skydiving,
When
because
you we say more
skydiving,
fatalities, but it's like one accident, one death every 100,000 jump from.
but from base jumping is the accident rate is bigger, and what the number that you're saying is more like skydiving jumps. But
Okay.
base jumping jumps, they are not like really in a statistic because base jumping is not federated
Yeah.
or it's
Yeah.
not considered. There's nothing to. That's also the beauty of base jumping. Base jumping is it's like I don't know, like the rebel sport. Like
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
rules. You can go to a mountain and jump yourself and say like nobody can say like no, you cannot jump from this mountain. So, the mountain is not his or anybody's.
Is
So
that
you can
is
go and
that
jump.
starting to get to have more rules and people start to forbid it a little bit more? Is that coming in or
Yeah, for sure. Like there's places where you used to jump there and they were not really paying attention and they were happy and all of a sudden because so many people started to go there and then accident happen and then they get sick of knowing that somebody from their backyard just jump and die like 300 feet away from there or whatever. So there are places that they are scared like, oh fuck, this is getting wild. So let's like like the government or the national park or whatever they put the rules and then it's forbidden.
good, good. So in this coaching mode that you are, because you are coaching as well, when you coach, you have to teach them, educate them through the process of staying in the present, in the process of being aware of everything they have to do before that. I mean, I'm sure there is a lot of stuff that you have to control before you go into the jump. Walk through us this concept when you are teaching someone. Let's say I'm going to go with you. That's the first time I want to do my base jump. I did a couple of skydiving in my life, and I have a suit. I'm ready to go. You consider I'm ready to go. Like, what are the things I should be aware of before I finally go for the first one? Like the basic stuff that you should follow.
Well, first of all, I will tell you like a week before that you have to visualize yourself doing it or every like every day
Lot of
before that. So
visualization.
yeah, visualization is super key and try to feel what you're gonna feel and in the visualization also I also visualize doing things like I wish that they don't happen, but I visualize them happening and how to react and get away so you are like kind of like ready for it. And then also, like I, I'm I'm gonna tell them that they my friends that he has to be aware that he's gonna be really scared, but like we have to keep it together and everything's gonna be fine. I give him trust. Yeah, you have this. So there's no. Your scare is the same scare. The fear is the same fear that I'm gonna have. So, but I control it already. So we have to like work on that. And but I give him confidence for sure
That's for
because
sure.
I know because I know that he can do it.
So
If,
I heard
if I would be like doubting, I'm like, no, we're not doing it. That's it. Even if somebody like try to push it, I would say no. Well, with me, you are not coming. Like
you really let them go when you feel they are ready. And
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I want to go talk about like a trend that there is in your sports. And I want to talk about that. And I want you to explain what is it about this low pull that the base jumper and the skydiver are talking about? What is it about that? Is that a trend? Is that fancy? Is it I mean, because people like to do that. They have the speed, they go and wait for the last minute to. Where is that coming from?
well, like you always want to keep flying. You don't want to finish the fun. So also, like base jumping, you only have one parachute. Like there's no you don't need more altitude to deploy another parachute. So sometimes you just pull low because the line requires to, or sometimes you wish you just like to pull low. I don't like if I don't have to, because uh yeah, even if the canopy, like sometimes it can get like twisted, so you can have a line twist and then you're like twisted in the line, not able to control the canopy much, and then you're going towards something, a tree or something, and you cannot avoid it, and then you crash. So I prefer to have altitude if I can, to if I have a line shift, I can really deal with that, and also there are some lines, like for example my backyard is
No problem.
it's a low pool place, because it's low. Like in Arizona where I live, like around the highest point on that mountain is 2,500 feet, and I normally jump from 16, like another 80 point, which is not the highest, but it's super nice. It's 16, 1,500 feet, so it's nothing. It's like you're gonna see in the videos, it's like 20, 25-second flight, 30-second flight maximum, and then you pull low because
You want to
if not, you want to milk that
grind. You want to make it last. It's like a sexual relationship that you have. You want it to last forever, forever.
Yeah,
exactly. Is that a good image? Is that a good image that I used?
Yeah. It's perfect.
So I'm going through the end, and I don't want to keep you forever. I would love to, but what is the most, I would say, beautiful places? And I know it's going to be hard for you to say because these are all beautiful. But from
Yeah.
your taste and from what you felt through all your jumps, what is the best place you have been through for jumping?
Man, I just told you about it at the beginning of
The Angel
podcast.
Falls?
Angel Falls, man. Oh, that place is first. It's like magic, man. Like the energy. You are in the middle of the jungle and in the highest waterfall in the world, which is like unbelievable, man. Like you cannot like know what is to be here, looking up 1,000 feet of wall with a waterfall falling. That in the season that we can jump, the water is not like in the winter that it's like five different rivers coming down. It's just like one solid river that is coming down, and at, at the top is a huge river coming down. Wow! And then in 1,000 meters, the water starts to separate, and it's when you are at the bottom, it's like a storm. Like it's not
Oh,
like solid water; it's a storm. You can be under, but it's like like in the movies when they're in the boat and the boat is like water everywhere, and like a lot of wind. It's like that.
wow.
So that, and to get there, I have done it 4 times. So that place is illegal to jump. It's a national park. But many years ago, the military was also organizing jumps there. So it's kind of like illegal after certain years, and but you can do it. Like you have to. Right now, Venezuela, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody to go there because it's such in a bad shape, and the insecurity because of the poverty has increased, and it's like
Yeah.
crazy. So and yeah, and the government is not good,
Wow.
not good at all. So I wouldn't recommend anybody to go and do something illegal right now there. So, but to get to that point, I have jumped 4 times. The first ever was with one of my best friends. That she is a base jumper, and she organized an expedition to go there hiking. So I joined her because we were shooting a video of her and two friends of her. One was one was Norwegian and the other one was Australian. And they were three girls, base jumpers, and they we were shooting a video. So they invited me, and I was like participating as a cameraman for her while we were doing the hike. The hike was 6 days to get there.
6
You
days.
have to, yeah, 6 days. The mountain is like kind of like a cake, no?
Okay.
It's vertical all the time and jungle. But the Angel Falls is on the north, and on the south the cake is crumble. So you hike through the crumble part, and then you cross on the top of the mountain. So it takes 2 days to get to the top, and then 4 days to cross to the Angel Falls side. And then when you get to Angel Falls, you sleep one night, and then the next morning, if it's good, you just jump. And you have to jump whatever you need to keep with you, because once you jump, you are down there, and then we're gonna take like a canoe 2 days through the river to a Indian village where we have a Cessna waiting for us to take us back to the civilization.
It's a
So
it's a it's
like,
a it's a trip. It's a trip of 10 days.
man, it's a trip of your life. You know, like after you do that, you won't forget it ever. And it's so nice. Like at the beginning, the 6 days, at the beginning you are like, I'm gonna jump, and you're excited, but then you just forget about jumping, and you're in the hike, and like sometimes it's tough, depending on if it rain, and you get, well, you basically get wet every day. But and even though it's the dry season, that place is like really humid and rainy. It's like rain and jungle, like, but it's beautiful. So after 6 days, you jump. The first time I landed, I looked up, and I was crying. It was
Wow.
so intense. It was so intense, like the beauty and what we suffered to like the 6 days, and it was intense. Like it was super awesome. Then I did it 2 times.
Finally, at the edge of
Helicopter
the
for a
Angel
project
Falls.
with some friends that they came from the United States.
Mhm.
And then I hiked it again with some friends from Spain.
It seems to me like you are you are very, very connected to the nature as well. You're a nature guy. You love it. You like it, and it's a way to share two passion. I think two good passion at the same
Yeah,
time. And
yeah,
I can see you walk for 2 hours, jump and go walk again. And jump. And I'm like, man, I could see you to do
yeah,
that. That's passion talking. That's the adrenaline you love, the feeling you love, and the nature you love bringing you there.
yeah, totally.
So
Yeah, man.
we're going, as I said, to the end. If I have to, if I have to go step by step to a jump, I like to hear that step by step. From the moment you are ready to go to the moment where you stop. Like,
When you're ready to go, if the jump is something new and you're gonna do it for the first time and it's a little bit intense, basically the night before you will be having nightmares and dreams about the jump, and you will be like, not sleeping much. Then you wake up, okay, I'm ready, super like nervous, but excited, and you take all your gear, and if it's a hike, you take care of, like, well, if it's a big mountain in Europe, the weather can change, but if the forecast is really 100% super nice, the chances are like, yeah, very low. But I always take in case, like, kind of like a base layer, because you can get stuck up there. So you're like You do a hike.
You have a friend there, right?
Yeah. You do the hike and you enjoy the hike, but when you get to the top, it's the oh shit moment, I call it.
Oh, the oh shit moment.
Yeah. So in that point, yeah, the moment arrives and you have to like, okay, cool. I'm gonna chill for a second, rest, enjoy the view. If there's no rush, like the conditions are good, you enjoy the view, you drink water, chat with your friends, have a snack or something. And then, yeah, it's the time. Everybody starts to gear up, put everything together. Everybody check each other a little bit, and you look good, you look good. Okay, cool.
Can we feel the tension a little bit? There is a tension before that around people.
Yeah. Sometimes the jokes start to disappear. So it's like no jokes, no laugh, and now it's like, oh. Yeah, the way it's not good. Like everybody starts to give some opinions, but then you are like, okay, who goes first? You wanna go first? No, I can go first. Okay, go first. So basically, we respect if somebody said, "Can I go first?" or "Can I go last?" So if somebody said, "Yeah," you're like, "Okay, cool." So you pick your slot according to whatever. Now the guy that just wants to go first goes, and then you just decide when you want to go. But basically, after the first guy goes, like everybody wants to go.
The guy who opened the road and then
everybody wants to go. So, and then when you land, you're like full of energy, adrenaline, and you wish that somebody can put you back in the exit point and do it again right away.
you should have I'm sure you have a huge smile on your face. Your face is hurting. Your muscle,
Totally.
your face muscle are suffering because you are smiling like crazy.
Yeah, totally. Your face changed for sure.
How many jumps have you done in a day? Like if you want to do like how many can you do in the world?
From a plane is I have done 19
in the day.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many base jump in wingsuit have you done in your life?
I have a little bit over, I think, 11,000 Skydive, and then I got about, I don't know, 1,300 base jumps.
Wow. Do you have any other dream?
In combining the wingsuit with the
you probably jump from all the best places in the world and the places you want to jump. Do you have any dream to achieve yet in base jumping?
Well, dream would be not to have to throw a pilot chute that open a parachute. The dream is to take off without with some engines. Like the dream is like already happening. Like that's but my dream is like if I can. Yeah, I mean like the dream is it would be like like flying your wingsuit and then having to open a parachute to land, so you can land the wingsuit right away. But like dreams are places that I would like to go. Man, I would like to honestly go to different places and keep going and keep going and keep knowing different places. That one of my dreams is to keep exploring the world. There's places like South Africa, Morocco, and things like that I would like to go and explore. I know friends that live there, and they've done some awesome places, and yeah, I just wanna know more. Like I have traveled the world a lot, but I still have places that they are on the list.
You know what I love?
Yeah,
You jump 11 times, 1100, like 11,000 times. You have, I don't know how many base jumping, like crazy amount of jump, and you still have a lot of stuff to accomplish. It's not done. You still have a lot
yeah,
to do. Lot to do. If you have,
yeah, man.
let's say that if you had a really, really tough moment that you went through and you overcame doing what you do, what would it be? What would be the story behind that? Very hard time moment where you overcame and you went through it.
Yeah, probably like recently, like actually end of 2019, I dislocated my knee competing in a base jumping competition in China. I landed protecting my right foot. I was concentrating on land first with my left leg, and then in one jump, I don't know the angle, whatever, it was a little bit hard landing, and when I put my left leg, my knee got dislocated. At that point, I was like, oh, like for me, like getting injured is, man, it's something like I don't want to pass through. Like I want to be healthy and be able to keep fucking flying and doing sports. Like I don't want to be, grounded. So for me, I was like, fuck, like now it's gonna be like when I dislocated my knee, I blew up the ACL and meniscus and things like that. So it was I have to go back, get surgery, 6 months stop, and in those 6 months, I had to change my mind and say like, okay, we're gonna just focus on recovery. Forget about flying. We're gonna go back to flying if we recover good. So I just focus on getting myself back as soon as possible, and I did it. 6 months, before 6 months, I was already jumping because I was able to sprint, like run and things like that. So I was like, yeah, as soon as I can sprint and I can, run a landing or something, I am ready. So I just waited until that moment. But yeah, that situation made you appreciate what you do and not take it for granted, and also it makes you think about other things and take care of other things. Like I started to read it more, started to keep learning another language. I was working on getting the Italian done since I love going to Italy so much. But yeah, and meditating and like reading about health and mental power. Like basically your mind can heal you if you really focus.
So that's what was a moment was tough because of injury, but was a moment which was very positive for you to be able
Yeah,
to gain power. So yeah.
yeah, I like the one time I was in Indonesia, New Jersey, like 4 years ago or something like that. And in this restaurant, there was a sign says like, "Shit happens, life is perfect."
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
from every bad things that we go through, at the end, you're gonna see something super positive. That if that shit wouldn't happen, you wouldn't be there.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna keep that one. Shit happen. Life is perfect. So
Yeah.
if you have, let's say you have to sell your sport, you want to inspire people to do what you are doing. Like, please, we're gonna finish with this. Give us a few words to bring some more people to skydive and base jumping.
If you ever dream about flying, that dream is really easy to accomplish. You have to look for a skydiving center nearby your home or country or whatever. And if you live in a certain countries like Venezuela, you will find one drop zone. But if you live like in the States or Europe, you have choices like multiple. You just have to look. A lot of people is like, how can I do it? Like, okay, Google skydiving near me, and then
Find it.
you can find a place. And then after, if you really want to try it, you can do a tandem jump attached to an instructor and know the feeling. But if you really know that that's for you, don't waste your time doing a tandem. Just go for the course and accomplish that goal that is super easy to accomplish. It's only 7 jumps, 7 levels. You pass that and you have a license, and then you have to, well, no a license. You have like already you're a skydiver, like temporary, I don't know how you call it.
They give you a permit.
Until 25, yeah, you can jump by yourself, but you don't have a license yet to jump everywhere. So you have to accomplish first certain amount of jumps to get the license, and then you can like travel to other drop zones. But the jumps, the first license is only 25 jumps, and then you can go somewhere else. But yeah, like, and if your dream is base jumping, man, go through skydiving, learn really how to fly your body and how to land your canopy, your parachute, really where you wanna land, and then base jump is gonna be safer. If you just go and do your skydiving course and just jump into base jumping and start to learn from base jumping how to land your parachute, that could be tough. So, and that could be a little bit dangerous. So make sure that you get enough experience skydiving and then do the base jumping. The mountains are not going anywhere, so
make sure that you are in love with the oh shit moment. I love that. I love that. I love that. Carlos, thank you very much. It was awesome. It was awesome to have you. Really, really awesome to have you. I really, really enjoyed that. I like to remind to the viewers, guys, come over, subscribe, share, comment, likes, whatever you want. If you dislike, just dislike. If you don't like it, just comment the way you want. I don't care. Just bring us a good stuff to make us better. Carlos, thank you very much. It was an honor to have you. I'm very, very happy to be able to introduce that new sport, and people are going to discover it through the channel, and I love it. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best and more jumps and the best of it in Arizona. That's what I'm wishing you. Thanks a lot, Carlos. It was all the talk with Carlos Pedro Briceño. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Ciao.
Merci.
Voilà, ils sont là.